The Library of Alexandria is often remembered as one burning building, one terrible fire, and one clean moment when ancient knowledge disappeared. It is a powerful image. A city by the sea, shelves full of scrolls, flames rising, the world losing its memory. But history is rarely that simple. Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE, but the library grew under the Ptolemies, the Greek rulers of Egypt, after Alexander died. They wanted Alexandria to become more than a port. They wanted it to become the brain of the ancient world. The library was part of a larger institution called the Mouseion, a place dedicated to the muses, learning, poetry, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. It was not just a quiet room with books. It was a research center, a community of scholars, and a symbol of royal ambition. Scrolls were the technology of knowledge. A single work could fill several roles. Copying was slow. Preservation was fragile. Fire, water, insects, war, politics, and neglect could destroy a text forever. In that world, a library was not just storage. It was survival. The Ptolemies collected aggressively. Ships arriving in Alexandria were said to be searched for books. Texts could be copied, and sometimes the copy was returned while the original stayed in the library. Whether every story is exact or exaggerated, the message is clear. Alexandria wanted everything. Inside that world, scholars compared versions of Homer, mapped the stars, studied anatomy, measured the earth, worked on geometry, and argued over language. Eratosthenes calculated the size of the earth with remarkable accuracy. Euclid's geometry shaped mathematics for centuries. The library helped knowledge talk to itself. But the Library of Alexandria was not one simple building that either existed or did not exist. There may have been a main library connected to the Mouseion and another collection at the Serapeum. Ancient sources are incomplete. Later writers mixed memory, politics, and legend. That is part of the mystery. So what destroyed it? The famous answer is fire. Julius Caesar's war in Alexandria in 48 BCE may have burned ships and nearby warehouses. Some ancient writers say books were lost, but this was probably not the single total destruction people imagine. The story continued after Caesar. The deeper problem was slower. Libraries need money. Scholars need protection. Scrolls need copying. Institutions need political stability. Alexandria changed rulers. Rome took control of Egypt. Royal support weakened. The center of intellectual life shifted. Knowledge can disappear from fire, but also from budgets. Later, the Serapeum was destroyed during Christian conflicts in the late 4th century CE. Some writers connected that event to the loss of books. Others suggest the Great Library had already declined by then. The exact timeline is debated, but the pattern is familiar. Power changes, institutions weaken, collections scatter. The most honest answer is that the Library of Alexandria was not lost in one clean moment. It faded through war, fire, politics, neglect, religious conflict, and the normal fragility of ancient texts. The myth of one fire is easier to remember. The truth is more uncomfortable. Because if one fire destroyed everything, then the tragedy feels like an accident. But if knowledge disappeared slowly, then people made choices. They stopped funding. They stopped copying. They stopped protecting. They decided other things mattered more. What do we lose? We cannot know fully, and that is the wound. We may have lost plays, histories, scientific observations, maps, poems, medical writings, and arguments that would change how we understand the ancient world. The emptiness is part of the story. But we should be careful. Not every ancient book was genius. Not every lost scroll would have changed civilization. The library became a symbol because it represents something bigger. The fear that human knowledge is fragile, and that once a memory disappears, we may not even know what question to ask. Alexandria also reminds us that preserving knowledge is active work. A library is not safe because it exists. It is safe only when people copy, teach, translate, fund, protect, and care. Civilizations do not only lose knowledge by burning it, they lose it by assuming someone else will save it. That is why the Library of Alexandria still matters. Not because every story about it is true, but because the symbol is true. Knowledge can be gathered across cultures. It can travel farther than armies. And it can vanish when power, memory, and care fail at the same time.